Traders at the Police Officers' Wives Association shopping complex in Computer Village, Ikeja, Lagos, have sought the intervention of the State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, following an alleged plan to demolish the POWA Plaza in less than 24 hours. The traders, who deal in computer and information technology gadgets at phases 1 and 2 of the complex, lamented that about 1,000 occupants would lose their livelihood if the plaza was demolished. They claimed that some officials of the Lagos state government with armed policemen allegedly stormed the plaza on Thursday afternoon to give them a 24-hour deadline to vacate the over 300 shops in the POWA complex. Some of the traders were seen hurriedly moving out their goods from the shops in an attempt to meet up with a 24-hour deadline. And joining me virtually to talk about this is Dr. Femi Egbetokun, National President, Association of Small Business Owners of Nigeria. I am also being joined live in the studio by Kupoluyi, Principal Consultant, Wholesome Wing World. Good morning, gentlemen. Glad to have you both join me.
Good morning.
Okay, let me start with you, Dr. Femi. What's your take on the trend of demolition in the state?
Well, as much as the government wants to put sanity to infrastructure in the states and wants the states to look exactly as what it is, which is a mega city, we still have concerns with the way demolitions have been carried out. Like the one we just reported now. Where in the world do you have a demolition with a notice of 24 hours? That's against the Land Use Act. And when the government has the responsibility of protecting the welfare and livelihood of all the citizens. So when the citizens are affected like this or their business are negatively impacted, it is a sign of not doing well enough on the part of government. We expect that when things like this are to happen, enough notice should be done and alternatives also should be provided for those who are in that environment doing their business there. In other climes, you will expect that there will be a relocation to other centers while the renovation or demolition is to take place. The livelihood and the businesses of those in that environment should be taken into consideration. Some of those shops are feeding thousands of people who are their dependents, staffs, and the rest. And they're also taxpayers of the state, so their interests must be protected. I'm happy that you are breaking this up now, and I'm sure that the Lagos state government will use this window to attend to this matter as a matter of urgency.
All right, let me come to you, Mr. Kupoluyi. Let's look at the ease of doing businesses in Nigeria, especially for small business owners. Do you think this demolition exercise will affect the livelihoods of SMEs that operate out of the plaza?
Yeah, definitely. The demolition will affect the businesses of all the people working in the plaza there because, with the situation of the country now, everybody is trying to find a means to the problem that we are all facing in the country. So definitely it's going to affect the livelihood of the people, and government needs to come to their aid at this very point in time.
Okay, looking at businesses that operate such as IT, computer gadgets, how do you think it would impact them in terms of their revenue?
Well, yeah, we are living in a technology world now. So everything that they are selling in that market is going to have an impact in the larger society, because I think that's the only place you can easily have access to all these gadgets if you want to get them at handy, at every disposable point that you can think of. That's the only place you can easily think, the first place that comes to mind to get all those things.
Okay, let me come to Mr. Dr. Femi. If you're there, Dr. Femi, let's talk about the government. How do you think they can work to ensure a smooth transition for business owners?
Well, when it comes to issues of building demolition, well, one of the things that government needs to do is that they need to always engage the stakeholders. Stakeholders in situations like this needs to be engaged, educated on what needs to be done, how it will be done, when it will be done, and the alternatives that are available. In most countries, we have industrial hubs, industrial centers, clusters created for a particular business. IT technology, selling of phones, repairs of the laptop and the rest, deserves to have its own cluster, particularly in Lagos State. If we have this kind of cluster, it will be easier for anybody doing business in other locations to migrate to those places and continue their livelihood. We also want to see Lagos State continually educating, particularly those in the build sector and other stakeholders on what is the requirement for buildings, what needs to be done, how to get certification, how to get other permits that are needed for building, and when they contravene, what is likely to happen, and the laws that are about it. And this should be communicated in a language that everybody understands. Not everyone understands Queen's English. So when this is to be done, it should be done in a way that even the traders that are semi-illiterate, that are micro, small business owners, will be able to understand what this takes and how to comply with it.
Permit me to jump in there, Dr. Femi. If you can hear me, permit me to just, interject there. I was going to ask you, when you talked about the need to educate business owners, what effective measures can be employed, do you think can be employed in terms of educating business owners for situations like this?
Well, I will expect that for a demolition like this to take place, there should first of all be a town hall meeting with all the concerned people, particularly the stakeholders, the owners of the building, the occupants of the building who are doing business there. A town hall meeting should have been done to take to tell them the options are available and to also let them know why that has to be done, give them enough time, and provide affordable alternative for the people there to be able to relocate. It could be that they are going to relocate to another environment. It could be that there will be some support fund that will assist them. Like the other colleagues said, Nigerian businesses are going to a very, very tough time this time. We have avalanches of situations that are challenging our businesses, and this should not add to it. A lot of people's livelihood depend on these small businesses that we think are micro businesses. And when anything happens to them, it not only affects their businesses, it affects their psychological emotions, it affects their well-being, their mental health, and at times leads to death. And that's why government needs to pay more than the usual attention when it comes to issues that affect businesses. We should continue to promote ease of doing business and not ease of killing businesses.
All right, let me take a minute to come to Mr. Kukpolui. What do you think are the potential long-term effects of a demolition of businesses? Let's look at in terms of skill acquisition of these business owners.
Yeah, the long-term effect will be on the citizens, because if that place is demolished and people lose their chance of having a shop there, definitely before they will be able to come back to get another alternative, if government doesn't provide a place for them, it's going to take a while. So all these things will continue to linger, the problems continue to linger and all that. So it's going to have a long-time ripple effect.
Okay, let me come to you, Dr. Femi. What do you think could be the long-term potential impact of demolition of business on business owners in terms of the skills they have acquired over time?
The first thing is that they'll become disenfranchised. They will lose confidence in government and some of the government agencies that are related to things like this. It will affect their business in the sense that they will either lose revenue by relocating to other places, losing their customers, or perhaps their businesses would definitely go down if they have no alternatives. Some of these people that are in these shops, in these malls, are on loans. They have borrowed money from banks, thinking that when they do business over time, they'll be able to pay back this. When the adult shops or places of business are demolished, how can they pay back those loans? Their guarantors or their collaterals will be confiscated. Some of these tenants also have just raised money to pay for shop rent for another 1 or 2 years, and the demolition is coming up now. How do you expect them to be able to recoup this money and continue to live? When we have challenges like this, it is what promotes crime. When people do not have right source of income or revenue, they take to other vices, which will not be good for the country, and will be spending more money on security, trying to curb crime again. This is not too good. And this is one of the things discouraging small business owners from abandoning their business and embracing Japa syndrome, leaving the country in droves because they do not believe in the system. We need to bring sanity into the system. We need to respect every citizen of the country or of the state, no matter how small that citizen seems to be, and provide alternative that will make him believe in the state, make him want to continue to business in the state, and help the state generate revenue in terms of taxes and other levies.
Okay, that's a fine place to wrap it up. Thank you so much for your time, gentlemen. Dr. Femi Egbetokun, National President, Association of Small Business Owners of Nigeria, and of course, the gentleman who joins me live in the studio, Abayomi Kupoluyi, Principal Consultant, Wholesome Wing World. Thank you both for your time on the news.
Thank you for having us.